Hello, everyone. How are you? Happy Wednesday. I always am so shocked when it's Wednesday already. I feel like I was just live with you not that long ago. But of course, with the podcast now, I feel like I'm talking to you all the time. So when you're here, hold on, let me type and say hi in the group. I'm in this dress today, and I feel like it's a kimono. I feel like it's like all flowy and so. But how are you guys? How's your Wednesday? Tell me how you're going, how it's going for you. I'm so excited about this topic today, guys. It's a big topic. Let me know when you're here. Here's the thing. Every time that I talk about money directly, I alienate a lot of people. And people leave the group and people unsubscribe from my newsletter because money is like a triggering topic. And a lot of people feel, right, like people shouldn't talk about what they make. Right? Like people shouldn't talk about what they make. However, I feel like it is my duty, my obligation to talk about what I make. Because a lot of people are paying me a good bit of change to help them make money. And one thing that they always want to know is, well, how much money are you making, Rita? And how much is your profit? And then when we talk about it, the next question is always like, cool, how do you do that, right? So I feel like as a business coach, it really is like my duty to go into not just here's how much I make. Like I make 20K months. Oh, look at me, look at me. You're going to hear today that it's not like that at all. You're going to hear what a real 20K month really is like, what that really means, because it doesn't mean 20K in the bank, right? But more importantly, I'm going to talk about each stage of business. So I'm going to talk about what I didn't and did do to go from $0 to $5,000 a month, okay? And then I'm going to tell you what was different that allowed me to go from $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And then I'm going to tell you what was different to allow me to go from $10,000 to $20,000 a month. And now that we're nearing the end of this year, I'm going to tell you what's different overall this year to last year, right? Because I think that a lot of promos out there, how many of you guys have seen the promos, right? Like I had a launch and I made $18 million by blinking my eye and blowing my nose, right? Like, and I did it in 2 minutes, right? Like, I did it in 2 minutes, right? Like we see the posts all the time of coaches saying, or not just coaches, right? But I'm going to go with coaches because I'm a coach and that's what I pay attention to, of coaches saying, hey, like, this is how much money I made. I made 7 figures. I made 6 figures. I made whatever. But they never tell you how they did it. And they never really tell you, some people do, but they never really tell you how much profit. And then if they do tell you the profit, they don't tell you what the expenses were, right? Like they're very real differences that took me from 0 to 5K, from 5 to 10K, 10 to 20K. And then I'm going to let you know where I'm at now. Like spoiler alert, right? Because at the end of the, like with tax time, I always come on and do a very big Facebook Live about here's the income I made, here's what all my expenses were, like verbatim, here's how much things cost me, right? And people can ask me all kinds of questions about like software and virtual assistants and prices and everything like that. So I'm curious for people who are here live. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Katie. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jillian. Hi, Alexa. Hi, Jenny. For people who are here, if you want to share why are you here, right? Like, what are you interested in learning? Is this a goal that you have that you'd like to hit 20K months? Is it that you're curious about what it was that was different at each stage, right? But as you're kind of typing, like, what's your goal? What's your financial goal? Or even on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling about your financial goal, right? With 1 being like, and 10 being like, throwing confetti in the air, right? Like, how are you feeling about your sales this year, right? Okay, so what's important for you to know, and I got lots of notes because literally I really wrote out, like, here's everything that I did at each of these stages and everything I didn't do. And I was like, I don't want to miss any of this, right? I don't want this to be some big secret, right? I don't want this, it's not a secret. That's kind of the thing, right? But people are acting like it is, and so I'm just going to tell you, right? But like I said, I feel like it's my duty to be transparent. A lot of people pay me a good amount of money to help them make money, and I always am very transparent about everything, how much money I pull in, what I pay out, what I'm paying it out to, mistakes I've made, all of it, right? Because I didn't start here. And I wanted to know all of this when I started. And I was very fortunate that I fell in to, groups and people and coaches that were very transparent and very open. And I really believe that that is what allowed me to be so successful, because I had people give me real, open, transparent information. And so I want to do the same for you. And Jillian's like, I love conversations about money. So do I. I love money. I love money, right? Because money allows me to do so many wonderful things. Money allows me to fund my podcast right now, right? That's not a money-making activity. How many of you are listening to my podcast? And if you're not, please do, right? It's really an amazing podcast, but like, the money helps us do. Also, guys, this is very important to know. This is why I talk about money so much with business. Guess what separates a business from a hobby? A profit. So you've got to make money, right? So we have to talk about money. We have to talk about money. And I know, like I said at the beginning of this, for people who don't, people will like flock out of my community because I'm talking about money. But as a business coach, if I don't talk about money, it does you no favors. It does you no favors at all. You're here to build a business, right? And that means we have to talk like CEOs about money. So that's what I'm doing. But this came up because I've been talking to clients. It's that time of year. Okay, so September hits, and what happens is I'm talking to potential clients or current clients or people who just started my mastermind group, and money comes up, right? Money comes up, and so does time. So here's what I'm getting from a lot of people that I'm talking to, and I wrote down exact phrases from people that I've been talking to this week. There's so much going on. I'm so busy. It's back to school time. Rita, oh my gosh, I think I want to coach with you, but I can't start till 2020. Hey, Rita, like, I don't know what to do to get more clients because I'm working all the time. It feels like I'm working all the time. I can't keep up. There's so much to do, Rita. If any of these comments sound like you, I want you to say yes. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Beth. Hi, Linda. I want you to say yes in the comments if any of these phrases sound like you, right? I would love to coach with you, Rita. I would love to do this. I would love to take a program, but I'm so busy. I don't have time for anything like that. I am working all the time. I don't know when I'm going to fit in more marketing, when I'm going to fit in more networking, but I need more clients, but I already feel like I'm working around the clock. There's no time to post on social media, Rita. I barely have time to do content. I can't be consistent every day. I'm so busy. I don't have time to do lives, Rita. I don't know when I would do consistent Facebook lives. I can't send a newsletter, Rita. I'm so busy. I don't have time to sit down and write a newsletter. There's so much going on. There are a million things that I'm doing in a day, and I feel like there's not enough time. I'm working all of the time, Rita. I'm working all of the time, and I don't feel like I have any results showing for it. Like, there's so much I want to do, but I don't know when I'm going to do it. I would love to start a podcast. I would love to start a group. I just don't have the time to do it. Right? And I see Beth is like, hey, she's honest and says, that's me. How many of you feel like those were a million different ways that I said people are feeling, right? Real time, taken from this group, taken from clients, taken from clarity calls I've had, things I've overheard at networking events. Like, tell me if that sounds like you. Just say yes. All you have to do is you don't even have to say which phrase sounded like you. You can just say yes in the comments, right? But that's what's coming up. I'm so busy. Back to school time. Work is flowing my way. I don't have time for marketing. I don't have time for networking. I don't have time to add in more clients. I don't have time to go do the things I need to do to get client, right? All of that, right? Beth can't be the only one. I'm not going to believe that Beth is the only one that's saying that she's ever felt like that. Like, if you felt like that, say it for solidarity for Beth, right? I felt like that at the beginning of my business. It felt like, oh my gosh, like, I don't have quite enough clients. I'm not at the income level that I want to be at, but how am I ever going to grow my income when I can't even do the things I need to do to get more clients or to have time to work on my business? I'm so busy working in my business with clients. I don't have time for CEO planning time. I don't have time for strategic financial Fridays. I don't have time for Wealth Wednesdays. I don't have time for marketing. I don't have time for more sales, but I need more clients. And I don't have time for social media. And I don't know how you do it, Rita. I don't know how you do all of this. I don't have any time for any of this. I'm so busy, right? These are all things that I'm hearing from people, right? I'm 5 years into my business full time. So I have been doing this for 7 years, right? For people who don't know or don't know the timeline, I was a lawyer for 13 years, a business attorney, and a real estate attorney. And then I left the law in 2014. But between 2012 and 2014, I was working a side hustle, basically, right? Working my business on the side. I started as a dating coach. I did that from 2012 until 2013. And then in 2014, I transitioned from date coaching to business coaching, and I went full-time. And I've been full-time business coaching, okay, for 5 years. So total 7. I tell you that because I did not start, I don't want you guys to, like, how I got to 20K months. Oh, I did a Facebook ad and sent a newsletter, and then the money just poured in, right? Like, how many of you have seen things advertised like that? Like, I'll show you the script and the copy that I used to send out to blah, blah, blah through this one simple Facebook ad that gave me a $75 million launch, right? There's nothing like that you're going to hear, right? Because, like, that didn't happen to me, right? But the question I want to ask right now, right, wherever you are in your business, is what are the things that are filling up your days, right? Because, like I said, I'm hearing from everybody, my days are full, I'm so busy, there's so much I'm doing, I've got so much going on. I want to know from you guys, what are the tasks that are filling up your days in your business right now? What kinds of things are you doing in your business? Like, go ahead and type that in. That's going to help me a lot if I know what tasks are filling your day. Networking, client work, Facebook ads, graphics, newsletters, funnels, what? Like, tell me what you guys are doing in you're here because you want to learn how to, the things, right, to do at the different stages of business and how I got up to the consistent 20K months. But for me to help you, I need to know what you guys are doing right now in your business, right? So I'm hoping that this is going to be pretty interactive, right? That would help, right? While you guys are typing some of the things that are filling your days in your business, right? So like I said, this is the time of year people start reaching out to me for support. Like, they want to end the year with a bang, or they want to get a jump start on next year, or they'd like some help goal planning or setting business plans or strategic planning or doing all of this stuff, right? Jacqueline says she's planning, she's networking, client work, right, is filling her days. I want to hear from everybody. I want to hear what kinds of stuff you guys all say you're so busy. I want to know what you're so busy doing. Client work, networking, meetings, calls, social media, writing, rehearsing, discovery calls. Okay. So this is the time of year people will start reaching out to me asking about coaching. And like I said, they'll say, hey, Rita, like, okay, so I have one client spot left for 2019, just one. And I've had a couple of people call in for it and had calls, and they're like, Rita, I really want to coach with you. I really do. But I think I'm going to start in 2020. I think I'm going to start in 2020 because, and can I, right? Because I'm so busy right now. There's back to school and work is kicked up and client work is coming in, and it's that season, you know. So then I dig in, right? And I say, cool, like you're telling me that you want more clients, but you're telling me you want more clients, but you're telling me your days are full, right? And I was talking to a client about this again today. Like, okay, so planning classes, connecting with clients, marketing research, journaling, meditation, hosting LinkedIn Local, LinkedIn Live. Okay, these are all good, right? These are all good things to be filling your day with. So I say to everybody who says this to me, you're saying that your days are so busy, but you're not at the income you want. So you're not at the income you want, and you need more clients, but your days are packed. Your days are full. I need to see what your days are full with. And as people turn them over to me, so whether they're clients or mastermind members or potential clients that I'm talking to on the phone, and I say, turn over what you're doing in your day, right? And I dig in, and I basically say, hand me your to-do list. And if I were to ask you, okay, so you guys are telling me what you fill your day with, but let me ask it like this. If I were to ask you to turn over your to-do list to me, your to-do list, right? So what we're talking about is that really messy, long to-do list, right? Front and back of a notebook size paper, or maybe it's a legal pad or whatever. And I said, rip out your to-do list and hand it to me. What is on the to-do list? Okay, what is on the to-do list? Allie's like managing my team, building programs, building relationships on Facebook, delivering programs, about to sell a challenge, mediation and self-care. Maybe that's mediation, maybe, or meditation. I need to add more meditation and exercise. Okay, so, but if I ask you to hand over your actual to-do list, like the actual number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 with scratches out and like, you know, something similar to, I try not to have a to-do list, right? But something similar to that, right? Like what kinds of things are on there? What kinds of things are on your to-do list? So this is what I ask people, right? And here's what I see. So I wrote down over the past like couple of weeks and even years, right? What I'm seeing on people's to-do lists when I ask that question. When I say, okay, you're not at the income you want to make more money, you're telling me your days are full, let me see what you're doing in your days, what's on your to-do list. And here's what's on their to-do list. They're working on a website, so they're putting up a website, or they're editing a website, or they're putting up copy on a website, or they're designing a website, they're working with somebody to design a website, cards, business cards, they're getting business cards made, they're creating a logo or working with somebody to create a logo. If any of this stuff is on your to-do list, just say yes as you hear it. Just say on my list, yep, that's on my list, yep, that's on my list. So website, business cards, creating a logo, getting photos taken, finding photos for posts. For vendor tables, it's like I need a tablecloth printed, I need the back signs printed, I need the back signs like for my vendor table display created. Facebook ads, I'm creating Facebook ads, learning about Facebook ads, I'm learning about Pinterest, I'm posting on Pinterest, I'm learning about Instagram, I'm posting on Instagram, I'm learning about LinkedIn, I'm posting on LinkedIn. None of you are saying yes, so I have no idea what your days are full, right? I'm creating like an email nurturing sequence, I'm trying to create an opt-in for growing my list, I'm trying to create a freebie to grow my list. I am creating a funnel, right? All the glorious funnels, right? I'm creating a funnel. I'm trying to create a speaker one sheet so that I can get speaking engagements. I'm creating content for an online course, right? This is what I hear a lot. I'm creating content for an online course that I want to sell, right? So I'm creating content. I also hear I'm posting in groups. I'm posting in Facebook groups. I'm following up. I'm going to one-on-one appointments. I'm going to coffees with people. I'm meeting a lot of people. I'm having a lot of sales calls. I'm ordering office supplies. Oh, and this is my favorite every year. Okay, this is my favorite when I ask people to turn over their to-do list at this time of year. I'm researching planners. Guys, this is the time of year that we mourn the death of many, many minutes of time because it's lost to researching the perfect planner for 2020, right? Like I can't tell you how many people lose time in search of the perfect 2020 planner calendar system, okay? Lots of time lost to researching for the perfect planner. I'm putting up sales pages, I'm writing copy. Like, what did I not say on there that's on your to-do list, right? But why are, when I ask them, when I see their to-do list and I see all this, oh, look at that. I made the joke about the planner and like 4 people fell off the live. Who knew that would be the controversial statement, right? But it's true, I've been there. I've lost time in search of the perfect planner, right? But I ask people, why are you doing these things? Why all these things? The websites, the cards, email nurturing, the funnel, the follow-up, the posting in groups, all of that. Why are you doing this? And then people say, hey, like, I need cash and clients. I need more cash, I need more clients, and I need them to be consistent, right? So I'm doing these things to get more cash, to get more clients, to make the money that I am making more consistent. You know, or they're saying, hey, I'm trying to hit my first 5K month. I just want to make $5,000, right? How many of you might be there if you feel comfortable saying, I'm just trying to reach my first 5K month, right? And people like to talk in Ks. That's why I'm talking in Ks, because the industry talks in Ks. I've said this before. There's nothing magical about 5K, 10K, 20K, 100K. Like, there's nothing magical. It's whatever amount you want to make, but like, you get the idea, right? We're talking about what I did from 0 to 5K, what was different that allowed me to go from 5 to 10, and what was different that allowed me to go from 10 to 20. So right now I'm talking about 5K, right? So if that's your goal, tell me, like, hey, I'm trying to reach my first 5K month, right? And that's what a lot of people say, right? I need more cash, I need more clients, I need more sales. And that's why all of those things that you just listed, Rita, are filling up my days and filling up my to-do list, right? That's why I don't have any time for coaching. That's why I don't have any time for courses. That's why I don't have any time for whatever. I don't have time for anything, right? And the thing is they don't have time for the very thing that's going to help them grow their business because they're so busy, yet they're so busy because they want to grow their business, right? They don't have time for friends. They don't have time to hang out with their friends because they're so busy trying to grow their business that they've sacrificed hanging out with friends, right? And hanging out with friends or doing things that fill their cup is what gives them energy to be able to grow their business, right? They've sacrificed their morning routine. They're too busy for their morning routine. They can't do a morning routine. That's the thing that's going to make them intentional about their days, right? So when people say, hey, I need more cash, I need more clients, I need more sales, here's my to-do list, and it's full of everything I listed before, from websites to follow-up to course creation to ads to posting, and I say, why are you doing all of this? And they're like, to get more cash and clients. The thing is they're actually sacrificing the things that will actually get them more cash and clients, which is like filling their cup and hanging out with friends and doing their morning routine and having a coach, right? So I was talking to a client, and a client asked me, this happened last year. So I've done this series before. What I'm doing with this video this year is I'm updating it for this year, like because this year's a little different, right? So I'm updating it. But when I did this last year, it came because a client said, Rita, I need to know, like just straight up said, look, I want to hire you, but I have to know your profit. Like I have to know your income and I need to know your profit. And at that point last year, I had had a few 20K months. Like I had hit them. They weren't all consecutive. I had hit a few 20K months. It had not yet become consistent. And she said, Rita, what is the difference? Like, what is the difference in what you're doing around this 10 to 20K? And that's how this series came about. But I turned the table on her and I said, show me your to-do list. And she showed me her to-do list. Like I said, that's how this all came about. And as I looked at her to-do list, I realized that telling her what I was doing would not be as helpful as telling her what I wasn't doing. Okay, how many of you have heard that before? That what you don't do is more important than what you do, right? So I told her what I didn't do at each stage. And I want to tell you guys what I didn't. Don't worry, I will also tell you what I did. Okay, I will also tell you what I did. So like I said, I did this last year. I've updated it a little bit and I'm adding in some stuff about my year. This year, Beth is like, I want 20K months. Cool. Well, I'm going to tell you what I didn't do and what I did do to get to 20K months. But I'm breaking it down because not everybody is at a 20K month mark. So I'm going to tell you from 0 to 5, from 5 to 10, 10 to 20. Okay. Really quickly when I started, right? People always say, I heard your story, Rita, that within 3 months, you surpassed your attorney salary, right? So before I break all of this down, I want to say, guys, it's not like I was making $300,000 when I was an attorney, okay? I wasn't, we're talking like maybe I was making like 90, 80, I can't remember. It was like 15 years ago, right? It was good for back then, but it wasn't what you guys are thinking. And so some people are like, how did you surpass your attorney salary in 3 months? I can't even make 3K, right? And if you've ever felt like that, it's okay to say me. I don't feel like that, right? So here's what I'm doing. Why isn't it working, right? Well, I looked at her list and I said, well, the way I got to 5K, the way I got from 0 to 5K is I didn't do anything that was on your list, right? Like I didn't do anything on the list I just shared with you. She had given me this list. I looked at it. I said, well, I can tell you what I didn't do. I didn't do any of this. And I circled almost all of it, except for 2 things. I was like, none of this, throw that out. I didn't do any of it, right? And she was like, what do you mean? So what did I do? I did not have a website. In fact, I still don't have a website. It's not entirely true. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. You can go to ritamademeidoit.com. It's literally just a landing page that's prettied up to look like a website. It's not a website, right? I've built my business without a website. Anybody that says you need a website, I have wedding planners as clients. I have photographers as clients. They don't have websites, right? And they are doing pretty well. But like I didn't have a website. I'm not saying don't have a website. I'm not saying they're terrible, but people ask, what did you not do? I did not have a website. I did not need a website to get to 5K. I did not know my ideal client. I did not have an ideal client avatar. I did not have that. I did not spend time on it. I didn't even think about it. I didn't have a logo. I had no logo. I used fancy font that looked like script that said Rita Goodrow. And like, that was it, right? I think I made it a color, right? There was no Canva out back, 5 years ago or whatever. So I didn't have a logo. I didn't have professional photos. I didn't have business cards. Didn't have a brochure. I did not have social media sites up when I started for date coaching. I didn't have a Facebook group. I didn't have a Facebook business page. I had no social media sites up at all. I did not use any Facebook ads. I did not stress over my business name for a second. I called it Rita Goodrow Coaching, LLC. That was it. I knew I could change it in the future, and I knew my name was probably a safe way to go. I wasn't worried about it. I knew I could change it as I figured my business out. I did not have an email sequence. I did not have a newsletter. I did have a MailChimp account because I knew the importance of getting email addresses. So I had a MailChimp account, but I did not have a newsletter. So these are all the things I did not do. I did not do social media. I did not do ads. I did not stress over the perfect business name. I did not create a logo or have a logo. I did not have a website. I did not have an ideal client. I didn't even have a thought about my ideal client. I just knew what I liked to do and who I wanted to help. I didn't have business cards. I didn't have a brochure. I didn't have email sequences. I didn't have ads. I didn't have a newsletter. Okay? Because as I told her, and I'm going to tell you, none of those things get you paid. None of those things get you paid. None of them. And at the beginning, you're trying to get paid. Remember, we're talking about the stage right now of going from 0 to 5,000, right? You're trying to get to $5,000 a month for this, and then we're going to move on to the next stage and the next stage, right? A lot of people tell me, and if you've ever thought this, I want you to be honest and tell me in the comments, right? Before I go out in the world as my business, I can't go out in the world as my business until I can't go out and network until I have my website and I have a logo and I have some professional photos on my site and I have business cards in hand, right? Like I can't start advertising for clients until I have my website and my packages and my pricing, and I can't like go out and network until I have this services sheet to give them. And I also need business cards and I have to have a website for them. What if they go look at a website and I need a Facebook page up? How many of you have ever in your business said anything like that ever? Ever. I did a little bit at the beginning of my business. Luckily, I had a coach who nixed that right away. Nixed it right away. And here was the situation that came up. I was like, oh yeah, I know I need to go networking, but I don't have business cards. And so I can't go networking because I don't have anything to hand out to people whenever I go networking. And she said, why do you need business cards? Why don't you just get their business card? Is there anything stopping you from going and just getting their business card? And I was like, nope. And she's like, all right. So from that point on, anytime I thought I can't do this until, I threw that out the window. Threw it out the window, right? And in fact, getting other people's networking tip, getting other people's business cards is so much better, right? In fact, if you ever network with me now, you're going to know my secret. But people are like, hey, do you have a business card? I'm like, actually, I don't have any. I ran out. I'm in between print. Like, I don't have any with me right now. But I would love to take your business card and then I can email you and you can have my information that way. Right? That way I get their business card and I'm in control of reaching out to them. If I gave them mine, then I'm just waiting for them to email me, right? If I want to talk to somebody, I want their card. I want to be in control of reaching out and emailing them, right? Plus, then I don't have to worry about having business cards all the time, right? So that moment, way back at the beginning of my business, I was like, all right, so that's it, right? But this is what I hear from people all the time, right? I can't go out networking until I have business cards. I need a website to point them to. I need to know what I'm offering. No, you don't, right? You don't have to know your package. You don't have to know your prices. You don't have to know what you're offering. You don't have to have a website. You don't have to have any of this, right? So none of that did I do to hit 5K months, right? When people are doing all of this, when people are trying to put up their website, trying to create a logo, trying to get professional photos done, getting their business cards up, trying to come up with their packages or their pricing, all of that before they've ever gone out into the world, right, to get a client or to announce their business. They're building a business before they have a business. They're building a business like they're trying to refine their business before they have a business. Let me say it like that. They're trying to refine a business that doesn't exist, right? Because I asked this at the beginning, but I'm going to ask everybody who's here now. What is the difference between a business and a hobby? Do you guys know? Like legally, what is the difference between a business and a hobby? Who knows? Who wants to type it in the comments? Anybody? It's like what, Bueller? Anybody know? You can say no or yes or whatever if you know. If you know, you can type out the answer or say no if you don't know. Do you guys know what the legal difference is between a business and a hobby? Anybody? Income, not income, profit. Profit is the difference between a business and a hobby, right? So when people at the beginning are like, I can't go out and launch my business until I know my packages and my tiers and my membership offerings